I'm with Adrian Cain, the Manx Language Officer here at Culture Vannin. Adrian, you got a cooish coming up? I'm sounding like I know what I'm talking about, but only because you told me beforehand. But first of all, what is it and what's going on?
Yeah, well, people might know the name, the word cooish. Cooish means sort of an event, a get-together, a cause, and all. And a number of years ago, we used to run sort of a language weekend, a week predominantly, and it sort of died a death in a way. We because we're doing lots of PR throughout the year, we sort of brought that to a bit of an end. But there's a lot more people now involved in the language community and a lot more going on. So we and as part of a sort of strategic plan over the next few years to raise the profile of language, get more people involved, all this sort of stuff, we thought as part of that, as a first stepping stone, we'd get the cooish going again, which has always been a series of events and activities both for learners and speakers, really. So we're just doing a sort of light revival of it over the weekend, which is initially with some great musicians, the Mollig Band and Scran, who are some brilliant young musicians at the in Peel. That's on Friday evening, Masonic Hall. And then throughout Saturday, we've just got a series of workshops at Culture Vannin here. Some for translators, so that's more for the really sort of talented writers, and that's really heavily subscribed. It's amazing to think how some really talented writers and people who operate at a very high level register in Manx.
This is much more of a local event, because I mean, in the year you do your the other event.
Yeah, we've got loads. Historically, in the cooish, we used to have the Ned Madrill lecture as part of it. And this year we had Linda Irvine coming over, and that was an amazing sort of talk she gave. So when the cooish stopped a few years ago, I maintained doing what was called the Ned Madrill lecture, because that was really interesting, getting someone over. That might go back into the cooish when we sort of repackage it over the next few years. But part of the event on Saturday, we've got, I say, translation workshop. We're also doing Manx for mums and dads, and there's lots of interest in that. Been really amazed really about the amount of people who've contacted me about, even if they can't make it this weekend, they'd be really interested in classes to help parents use a little bit of Manx with their children, really.
Because the children are going to this school here next year, of course. Some will go home and be speaking Manx.
Yeah,
and the parents don't understand.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's not just for parents of the Bunscoll. It's for parents generally who'd like to try and use bits of Manx, like at breakfast time, going to bed, and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. So I've had lots of interest in that. Some will be Bunscoll parents, some aren't. Yeah. But that's something I think over the next few years I'd like to expand a lot, do a lot more with parents, encourage them to use bits of Manx, because it just means, one, if kids go on to learn more Manx, they'll be better at it, they'll have a positive attitude towards it and all this sort of stuff. So there's a number of sort of workshops going on Saturday, and also we'll be running a workshop about how we can take the cooish over the next few years. So where would we like it to be in 5 years, basically, and sort of take on board all the enthusiasm and the sort of the volunteer dynamic which exists for the language, and get people who are involved in the language to think, look, where do we want it to go and how they can help.
So people aren't shipping themselves in from across. This is really an Isle of Man event.
This is an Isle of Man event, basically. Yeah. Although the next few years it might involve getting more people in from Ireland, Wales, or whatever. But
that's what we have to do.
Yeah,
it's a job.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely, absolutely. But it's good to have that discussion how we do it and sort of think about those things. We'll also be launching, in Cheshire Gilgat, have just put out an updated version. It was out of print, which is the first 1,000 words in Manx. It was out of print for a number of years, but again, that sort of goes well with a lot of the stuff we're doing with mums and dads, basically. Really sort of nice, simple introduction to the language. Really popular. These are incredibly popular worldwide.
The original Find the Duck.
I know, the original, yeah. It was out of print, and it's been updated to involve things like computer and all that sort of stuff in it, which, the original editions of this book quite old now, never had that certain terminology. So so if people are interested in finding out a bit more, they can contact me in 451098 or Adrian at culturevannin.im, and hopefully in the next few years we'll expand the cooish and in some sense with having in mind things like the Lit Fest and the Film Fest and that sort of ambition, really.